All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody for joining me today for the CERN update. So, I want you to grab a notepad, grab a pen. I want to welcome you to World Changers again. I know I was in earlier, that was an impromptu. I had to release it. If you missed the room earlier, I need you to go back ASAP after this and listen and receive the Rats Karats that the Lord has released, which is the audacity to believe that you're unstoppable, and also, it is a war cry from the ancient of days. Okay. So I'm going to allow my wonderful executive assistant, who this community would not nearly be as efficient as it is without her, because that is not my area of expertise. I'm just an idea person. So I am going to allow her to do the announcements, and then we'll quickly get started. Diona.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, evening, day, wherever you are in the lovely world. Welcome to World Changers. Thank you, Somalia, for the lovely stuff you just said. So I just want to do the announcements really quickly. So this is a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a sneak preview. For those who are part of our email community, you will get this information in full later. But Somalia is starting her hot seat sessions. And this is going to be an amazing time where you can book a place to come and ask her whatever you like. A lot of you guys are consistently in our inboxes asking us questions, and this just gives her an opportunity to be able to facilitate answering those questions twice a week. So it will be every Monday and every Wednesday, and it will be an hour and 15 minutes. You will submit your questions in advance, and if she gets through all your questions in that time, then you'll be able to ask more questions. There are limited seats for each session, but this is something that will run every single week, unless stated otherwise. So I look forward to when we launch next week. This, which leads nicely into the second thing, because Somalia is going to do a special edition for all those for the first 16 people that purchase her new book, which is launching in literally a couple of months. It launched today, and please remember to actually pull down to refresh PTR, and you'll be able to see the hot seat information on Somalia's picture. It's on her profile picture. It's going to be amazing, guys. And for all those who purchase her book, you guys will, if you send us a picture of the receipt, you'll be able to secure your place at her hot seat session that she's going to do a special edition on befriending fear, because that is the topic of her chapter. So she had the amazing opportunity to be a part of a book series called Pay It Forward, Notes to Our Younger Self, and this is volume 4 of that book, and she is one of the co-authors, and she has a powerful chapter on befriending fear, and she will be able to answer your questions around befriending fear. So all you have to do is send us a screenshot of your receipt, and we will secure that place for you. So if you are interested in that, please hit up, or email rather, executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com. If you are watching any of her replays and you need a resource, please be attentive to listen to what she calls the resource. So when you contact me for it, I know exactly what you're talking about, because we have a plethora of resources. So, Fab Over 40. Somalia is in the quarterfinals. Whoop whoop. So if you guys click on the link above our heads, she continue to vote for her. She is currently second, but we know that she's winning. So this is just for now, guys. Get on every device you have, your phone, your mum's phone, your husband's phone, your dad's phone, your brother and sister's phone, and vote for her. We need Somalia to win. If you haven't already watched the video, I'm going to post the link for it momentarily. But Somalia actually explains her why behind wanting to win. It is something that God placed in front of her for her to engage in front of her for her to be a part of, and now she is actively in the running to be winning this, and she's been number one for a very, very, very long time. So guys, we need to make her win. Okay, we need to do our part, and remember that every time that you vote, you are sowing a seed. You are sowing a seed, and if you name that seed, when it comes back to you, you will know that it came from, oh, when I voted for Somalia. And voting, trust me, investing and sowing into Somalia is good ground. So if you click on the link above my head, that is the interview link. I will momentarily swap it back out for the voting link, because voting is important, and I think that will stay up for the remainder of the day. Please vote for her. And the last announcement is for our inner courts family, cohort 1 specifically, just to remind you that every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. CST, at least for the next 2 months, we will be having our live training. So we had our first one yesterday, and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. The recording will be with you shortly, and once the recording is out, please watch it if you weren't there. You have homework, and if you don't do your homework by next week, yeah, everything builds. So this is foundational, and we need you guys to do your homework. So please, 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 cohort 1, do your homework. Cohort 2, don't worry about it. That'll be you soon. Okay, I'm swapping it back to the Fab 40 link. So please remember to vote for Somalia. Send it to your community. Rally up everybody to vote. I am complete. I'm Deanna Elizabeth, and I'm complete. Thank you, guys.
Thank you much. I appreciate it as always. So, well, if you PTR, pull to refresh, you'll see the book. An amazing experience. The origin story, many of you have gone through it who are part of the inner courts. Those of you who have not, you need to know your origin story as a minister, as a woman of God, a man of God. That origin story will change your entire perspective, shift who you think you are, because when you understand your origin, then you know why you do what you do. You know why you're attacked the way you're attacked. It makes everything make sense. So it's a very powerful masterclass that you will get with the book. The link will be up shortly. It'll be on my website, so you can always go to somaliabrown.com, where you can get on the wait list to get the bundle, which will be a masterclass, which I will walk you through how to find your origin story, as well as the book, and a fear course that I put together, because everyone knows that fear has been my vice from the womb. And if I can conquer it, anybody can conquer it. So, yes, thank you, Deanna. I appreciate that. So, today I want to give you an update on CERN. I'm not going to go deep into CERN because many of you were around when I really dove deep. If you want more, it's on my YouTube. You can scroll through my replays. CERN was the collider, the particle collider, just briefly, back in July, where they literally were looking for the God particle. And I'm not kidding you. They were literally intensely looking for the God particle, right? They were trying to find dark matter. They were trying to unleash dark matter, a portal. They were opening portals to allow different beings into our universe. They were trying to change the effects of our universe. You can believe it if you do. If I want to say you can believe it if you want to or not, it is your choice. I'm not here to force you to believe this. What I'm here is to deliver information. And I'm giving an update because I know, for one, I have noticed a huge difference. Okay. CERN's collider is on full blast. I told you guys it was not just going to be that day that it was on full. It is on full blast since July 4th. It has been on full blast since then, right now, and it's going to continue to be on full blast. Okay. They are trying to figure out what the universe is made of and the laws of physics that dictate its behavior. They are trying to literally change our DNA. And it's more than just with CERN. And I'm going to leave that right there because that's not where I'm going today. Okay. Their mission at CERN is to uncover what the universe is made of and how it works. But in doing that, they are opening us up to other entities. And I say entities, but we know that it is nothing but darkness. I'm going to give you the Stephen Hawking's warning. He said the God particle discovered by scientists in 2012 has the potential to destroy the universe. Okay. The CERN laboratory headquarters is located in Swiss, on the Swiss border, near Geneva. And their mascot, I'm just giving you a quick synopsis. We've done all this, we've dug into all of this. The quick synopsis is they have Lord Shiva, which is the demonic entity that has the multiple arms that we see in all the movies. That's blue. That is in front of their laboratory. Okay. That in itself, that entity releases discord and chaos. Okay. What they were trying to do is open up a gateway to a parallel universe. They're trying to do possibly is even and we don't know, we'll never know until years later. Oh, this is what happened, by the way, because something happened in 15 when they turned each time they turn it on for a little while. The next time I think they're turning it back off and on is in 2025. Okay. So that's just, 3 years. It's going to be on for 3 years and then it's going to have to be shut down. My light keeps dancing. Okay. They are basically manipulating energy, you guys, which they do all the time. And now they have a huge collider. If you've seen Spider-Man, they talk about the particle collider with the multi-universe. When you listen to Black Panther, they talk about a collider. All of the superheroes discuss the collider. That's not a coincidence. It's all in that realm, the multiverse. If you watch Flash, if you're part of the inner court, you should be done or still watching Flash. They talk about a collider and it mimics the exact same collider. Flash, to get to to open a portal to go to the past or the future, he has to go into the collider. Do you see what they're showing you? Okay. And now Flash is old. It came out in 14. But 15 is when they first released the big news about the collider. Now, I want to give you an update because I gave you warnings. I said you have to make sure that when they open this up, they're going to unleash high energy, strange matter. They're going to, it could be a crashing, catastrophic vacuum decay. That the possibility of timelines being destroyed, Mandela effect, which we all know what that is. Frequency tones will be different. Perception will change. Some things not seen anymore. All of this is stuff you can get stuck in a certain frequency. All of this energetically can happen. Okay. We said what you must do is stay in the sun, stay positive, stay on a frequency of love and peace. Stay high, right? High on God's frequency, God's spiritual heightenedness. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't entertain demonic low level demons, as in fear, anger. On the chart, love is the highest. Fear, anger, frustration, all that is at the bottom. What else did we say? Try not to operate in fear. Whatever you operate in, you get stuck in. Anger will be at its highest ever. It'll be easy to get angry and hard to get out of it once you get into it. Don't feed them don't feed into the negative energy. All right. There will be glitches upon glitches. The internet will act crazy. The phones will be worse than they were before. Light switches, you will get shot. I mean, I can keep going. And the reason why I wanted to give an update is because I wanted you guys, what are we? July, August, September, October, November, 4 months later. What do you see? This is why I kind of ran down some of the warning signs of CERN. What we said was possibly gonna. It's 4 months later. What have you noticed? Just put it in the chat. Those of you who went through the CERN with me, some of you may be new, but some of you who are not. What did you see? Have you noticed anything? Have you felt different? Have you seen anything? Okay. This mascot, the Lord Sheba, the god of destruction and discord and chaos, is the highest sorcerer. Okay. This is not a coincidence that that's their mascot for CERN. Not a coincidence. I'm waiting to see if anybody drops anything in the comments. If you want to DM me in the back, you're more than welcome. Let's see what else. I'm trying to go through my old notes to kind of see. I told you had to hold your higher frequency, as in when you operate in love, you want to stay there, because the minute you drop, those lower levels are going to be kind of like a dog around food, like they're going to attack and attach themselves to you. Okay. Let's see what else we have. So in the comments, oh, how do you purchase the book? We'll circle back around to that. The sun has no filter, glitches with internet access. Here in Florida, it seems very gloomy. So you're seeing some of the things that have shifted and changed. Let's see, what else did I have? It says it'll be 1,000 times hotter. I don't know about you guys, but it's been 30 degrees where I live. And yesterday it was 70. And then today is 30. So the day before it was 30. Not that those are out of the norm, but it's just paying attention to the way people are acting strange. Okay. The confirming of the satanic world being bolder. These are things that the CERN has done. But I want to give you, I'm gonna still keep adding yours. I want you guys to notice. I want you to do this. Have any of you noticed a sound? Everyone looks like they're in zombie mode. Oh yeah, absolutely. Has anyone noticed a sound that you hear in your ear? Anyone know, like a warping sound, or a like if you're in a hospital and you hear the machines just buzzing, humming? Yes, definitely strange smells, definitely. The sound that I want to see, if you're hearing that sound, drop a 1 in the chat on YouTube and on Clubhouse. If you're hearing in your ear a sound that you have never heard before and it's consistent, sometimes you feel like you have water in your ear. Sometimes you feel like you'll go clean your ears out, and if you put the Q-tip or whatever you use, it'll kind of chill, but then it'll come back stronger. It's stronger in certain areas of the house, certain parts of when you're driving, stronger at night than it is in the day, or vice versa. That is the frequency that you're hearing. And I said, when CERN kicks off, the frequency is going to shift. They're going to try to change frequencies. You have to stay on a certain frequency. You only hear that sound when you are shifting frequencies. Okay. I have been racking my brain because it's so annoying. I'm like, what is that sound in my ear? And there's times when whatever I'm operating in that is not where I'm supposed to, because no one's perfect. If you're angry, if you're frustrated, pay attention to what makes it get louder. Pay attention to what makes that sound get stronger. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. The frequency, they're pushing out a stronger frequency. Frequencies mess you up. So anybody heard of let me make sure I don't want to butcher it. I think it's 436 hertz. And then it's the 5. Let me make sure. If anybody knows, drop it in the chat. 436 hertz. Yeah. The songs 436 hertz. That's one frequency. It's kind of like tuning into a radio. If you're on the wrong frequency, it's all squeaky and loud. When you're in the right one, it doesn't bother you. Those sounds that you're hearing is exactly what they're doing and what CERN is doing. So if you didn't know any better, you would just be like, "Oh my God, my ear! I'm just hearing this weird noise." You'd go to the doctor and they wouldn't know what to do. They don't know because it's not literally natural. It's a high energy that I said they were going to try to unleash. Okay, it's the unstableness of the energetic flow. Okay, so I want you to understand that you first off, I want you to write this down. When you hear that, what state are you in? Are you in a high prophetic anointing state? Usually not. Just being honest. You're usually on a lower level. It's kind of a telltale sign to let you know, what you're doing is not right. And then see when you're just even kill if you still hear it. Test it. See what it is, why you are hearing it, because it's not all the time. Okay. If you've lost or stopped drinking water, up your water. Eat your water. And I know when I said that last time, I had a whole bunch of how do you eat your water? There is a thing called, let me pull it up for you in my notes. Um, when you eat your water, it is called the water that is H230, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up real quick. It's in my notes. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's better for you than regular water. Let me see if I can do a search real quick. If not, I'll pull it up later and give it to you guys. But yes, when you eat your water, it's basically all the fruits that have tons of water. Okay. It's lettuce, watermelon, grapefruit, strawberries, cucumbers, tomatoes, celery, summer squash, rhubarb, cassava melon. These are fruits that have water, if I can find it, that are way better for you than H2O. Okay. And I know we've never really heard of it. But this water is 10 times better. Okay. Um, when I find the name of it, I'll drop it in the chat. I want to say it's H3O, but of course it's eluding me right now. All right, so we'll keep going. So you want to continue eating your water. You want to continue getting the sun. A lot of people can't find the sun. All right. The next thing I want you to know, so it's the frequency. You hear it now. You can feel it. Electricity. Are you being shocked more? When you put things in the socket, when you turn on the light switch, when you touch someone, you don't even have to be on carpet anymore to just, I electrocute. I shock my son all. He's like, Mom. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're outside on concrete and I have on rubber shoes. How in the world? Because of what they're emitting, because of what happened when CERN kicked it up a notch. Okay. The CERN. So basically, the frequency is trying to infiltrate and affect you. All right. The glitches. The internet is working way worse than it's ever worked before. It's slow, it's fast, and that's also has to do with 5G that they're trying to push out. But the 5G and the CERN go hand in hand, but I'm not going to go down there. Okay. They go hand in hand. Now, the other thing I want you to notice is people. Someone said it that people are like zombies, they're tunnel vision. But how many of you have noticed how evil and how heartless and how what's the word I'm looking for, how people could care less about life, like life means nothing? Did you guys hear, I'm sure you have, it was all over, about the woman who went to Mexico and her friends, quote unquote, air quotes, killed her? I mean, cold blood, like just beat her up, beat her to death. I mean, literally, the autopsy said she was internally decapitated, you guys. They snapped her neck from her spine. How? And then so there's 6 people. One's filming it, one or two is doing the beating, and the others are enjoying it. When did the world get to the point where we film someone's misfortune? Do you see how exactly, perfectly stated, wicked and horrible? But it's the fact that they could stomach that. Like, I'd never watched it. I didn't watch the George Floyd. I didn't watch that. I don't watch those things because I know my spirit and I know what it's going to do to my spirit. But to be in the room, nah. People are angrier. People are more frustrated since CERN. Pay attention. People are they are driving more mad than normal. And I don't mean mad as in just like driving crazier. When you're in the store, people are just rude for no reason. Now, it's always been like that, but it's taken it up a notch. It's gone because I told you there's going to be a split. I told you it was a dichotomy. There's going to be two path roads that we are going to take when CERN hits. You are either going to take the high road, the fifth dimension, the mindset of everything works out. I'm a child of God. Everything is in my favor. God loves me. Or you're going to be on the side of I'm frustrated, I'm angry, nothing ever works out. Pessimist or optimist, all those dichotomies of up, down, good, bad, left, right, that is what we're walking in right now. Yes, that's exactly what we're walking in right now. And it's no regard. How do you maintain in this world? You have to stay high. I've given you guys so many tips and tricks on how to walk in a higher dimension. I'm going to run through some of them, okay? And I want you to take notes because the only way these entities can touch you, mess with you, this I want to break this down to your blessings. If you're waiting to be married, if you're waiting to have a baby, if you're waiting for a promotion, waiting for your wealth, waiting for your financial increase, whatever you're waiting on, this is how you make sure you get it. Okay? There's 2 worlds in one right now. I don't have negative things around me. I don't have illness around me. There are so many things that I see trying to infiltrate my life and my family. And because of the level and the place that I keep myself and my kids, they cannot enter, but I see them. How many of you are there? I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you are there. You can see the traps. You can see and feel the attacks, the traps, the what's the word I'm looking for, Holy Spirit? You can see them coming. If you're not there, it's because you're not on the level that God needs you to be in the dimension you need to be. Okay? I told you after a while, you will never run into an angry person. After a while, you will never run into a frustrated person. Why? Because when you show up in your dimensional space on the frequency of love, the only people that can come in your circle are other people operating in that. The only way anger can even come into your space. The only way frustration and anger and bitterness can enter into your space is if you've lowered your frequency, if you've lowered yourself. So let's make this practical. You're having an amazing day. Every you go to the grocery store, the lady who checked you out, amazing, peaceful, loving, kind. You go to the post office, same thing. But then you get in the car and someone, whatever, road rage kind of kicks in on you and you get a little frustrated and angry. Then you go to a store and guess what you're going to run into? A angry cashier who puts your money down or is rude, doesn't say hot. That's what do you see where I'm going? I need you guys to let me know you're following me. You right now with this CERN have the power and the ability to either stay high or go low. And when you go low, you are inviting every low entity into your space. Now, let's make this into blessings. God told you he was going to do something. You heard it, you saw it, it was confirmed. Now, everything looks the opposite. Everything that should be going is going wrong. You have a choice. You're either going to believe the smokescreen, the simulation, hear me, the simulation that the entities spiritually and the entities as in kingdom agents that are against your blessing manifesting, you have a choice to believe what they're showing you, or you have a choice to believe what God told you. Does that make sense? God told you, I'm going to give you increase. You're going to have a promotion. You're going to get that job. You interview 1, 2, love you. Yes. Push you to the next one. Love you. Yes. The third interview, someone else joins. Well, we actually kind of found someone we like. That's a simulation. Then you go into, well, we narrowed it down to 2. That's a simulation. That's bringing doubt. Do you see the song and dance? I'm going to make it even more plain because I need you guys to follow me. When I had my first child, I had a C-section. I had 1 C-section and I had 2 VBACs, 2 vaginals after cesarean. I refused to have another C-section. I wasn't doing that again. They got me off guard. So that first C-section, when I was in that labor room, I'm going to tell you the song and dance. I want you to see your own world. I want you to see your life. This is how they work. I went in there at like 7 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, I was fully dilated. First time, first child. So the doctor thought, I'm first time mom, I'm going to be there forever. Well, my body on all 3 babies, yeah, I dilated immediately. Thank the Lord. And between 7 and 9, 10, I was fully dilated. He was out watching the Lakers basketball game. How do I know? Because he came and said something. So the nurses, he comes in and says, push. Now, I'm a first time mom. I don't know about babies. But hindsight, he lied to me. They had a song and dance. They had a simulation going on. They had cues that once one did one, the nurse would do theirs, the other nurse would do hers. So he said push, no contraction, you guys, push. So I'm pushing with no contraction. Me not even think. Now that whenever I look back, I'm like, how stupid. But I couldn't kick myself because I never had a baby. You don't know you need contractions. Yeah, you know about contractions, but you don't put them together until you actually have, oh, the contractions. You got to push with the contraction. He said push 3 times. No contraction. You need a C-section. And I looked at him. The lady then comes, as soon as he said that, the nurse comes and says, here, let me put this on your arm. Let me put this oxygen on your mouth. Do you know what this lady told me? You need to breathe. Breathe deep so your baby can breathe. At the time, I thought that sounded kind of strange because my baby's in water, but I'm in a state of shock. I'm at my most vulnerable. You're my doctors. I trust you. Then here comes the next one. Breathe deep. Your baby's not breathing. The heart is going to. When I say song and dance, they have a skit, you guys. That's exactly what the enemy does. It is a song and dance. God told you you're going to get married. A man comes. It's a song and dance. He's a counterfeit, but he is a counterfeit is just that, an ultimate counterfeit. Can you tell $100 counterfeit from another $100 bill counterfeit unless you examine it, unless you put it under a light, unless you mark it and it turns another color? You can't. So when I say they have a song and dance ready, it's a simulation that when God says you're going to get married, you're going to have an increase, they start doing their song and dance. And once that one person's done, the next one comes in, and then the next one comes in, and it just keeps going. I said to myself, I will find out if they lied to me. My third baby, I said, can you tell me why I had a C-section? She goes, everything is clear in your chart. I don't know why you had one. I said, was my baby in distress? She goes, it doesn't say that here. They lied. They just wanted the 50K because I had babies with no epidural, no medicine, no nothing, $3,000. My first baby was a C-section. They gave me morphine. I said, no, ever give me that again. And then they gave me Motrin, and I was in the hospital for 3 days, and it was $50,000. Do the math. Song and dance. I'm trying to make it as practical. I need you guys to understand that tomorrow's December 1st. I want you to go back and listen to on, I'm going to post it here because it's on YouTube. I have I did a video earlier today, and the video earlier today is about what's happening in December and the power to move in it. You have to take a listen. If you haven't got the link above to vote, please grab that. I'm going to change out the link. And then that way you guys can watch this one. This one was one that I had earlier today. It will absolutely help you understand what is happening in December and what you need to maneuver in December. And you on YouTube, you guys on YouTube, if you just go to my page, you'll see it's called Are You Ready for What's Next? So, the song and dance. CERN has amplified the song and dance. Have you noticed how it doesn't take you long to get angry if you do get angry? Have you noticed it doesn't take you long to get frustrated, irritated, annoyed? Have you noticed those are the song and dance? You're like, dang, I wasn't like this before. Dang, I wasn't so irritable. What is wrong with me? It's not you. It is the frequency that that you're hearing in your ear. It's trying to make you into that. You have to fight that. CERN just wasn't a one-day thing, you guys. CERN was literally going to be on full blast, full throttle for 3 years. The only way to combat the entities, the kingdom agents on this earth against your purpose and your own flesh is to operate in a higher dimension, and that is love. Anytime you get angry, immediately repent and ask God to fill you with more love and maneuver in that light. But the more you sit in it, it's the harder you have, the harder it is to get out of it. It's kind of like, again, because we're watching this in our community, Flash. They said only never time travel, because when you time travel, you get in trouble. When you time travel, you ruin the future, you ruin the present. When you come back, things always change. And they also said whenever you operate in darkness, because darkness catapults you in Flash, in the movie. Darkness helps you, but all superheroes have that theme. If you've ever watched Doctor Strange, I'm a superhero person, but if you've ever watched Doctor Strange, the first one, they were mad because their master teacher was dibbling and dabbling in the light and the dark, but she was the most powerful because she was doing that. But if you notice, when you do that, they always say the same thing. It's easier to do it again. Think about the sin. If you lie, if you covet, if you do something that's of sin, the first time you beat yourself up. The second time, not so much. Third time, even less. Fourth time, you don't even have conviction. It's easier to do the sin if you keep doing it. Let's put that into the anger. And the reason why I'm stuck on anger is because anger is what they're using. Let's go to 2020, 2021 into now. Anger is what they're using. They're putting us against our Latino people, anger. Putting us against the Asians, anger. Now with the Kanye thing, putting us against Jews, anger. Racial issues, anger. You see what I'm saying? They're using anger because anger, you can be angry, but sin not. I've told you guys before that there is a power, there's a portal right there at the point, the junction of be angry, but sin not. Do you know how in control of your emotions, how sound you have to be, and how wise you have to be angry, but not sin? But if you notice, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired is when you get angry and you say enough is enough. Right there is when God always moves. But you don't live there because you got to get angry to be there. And you don't like that feeling, and you don't always want to get to that feeling. You have to learn to live in that portal, that space, without the anger. That takes a skill, that takes practice and wisdom. Every time you're like, I'm done, this is it, I'm not doing this no more. God, you need to do something. You said this. I showed you, put them in remembrance. You said this, you promised this. What's going on? He moves because you were angry, but you chose not to sin. That's a blessing. But if you're not in control, if you don't have wisdom, you will get angry and you will sin in the very thing that should have been a blessing. The same measure of the blessing will be the same measure of the sin. There is a portal. So they're using anger against us, which is why I keep saying be careful with anger. Anger is when you're angry, you do anything. You see red. You're not thinking straight. You know how many people are in jail right now for life? 50 years, 30 years, 20 years plus because they were angry that night? Think about it. Do you know how many people lost their job because they were angry for one moment? One moment. There is power there. So they're using anger against us. They're using it to keep us. But if you know that, the opposite of anger is at the very bottom of the chart. Love and peace is the highest. You strive to operate in love and peace, you will never encounter that. How many of you know people who are just miserable, frustrated, irritable, and angry all in one all the time? That's the opposite of love, peace, and unity. And that's where most people are. We have out there, because we don't claim it in here, we live in Goshen. In Goshen, we don't have inflation, we don't have scarcity, and we don't have lack. We don't claim that. I'm not claiming that. That's them. And I don't have that. My refrigerator is always full. My gas tank is always full. And there's money in the bank always because I don't claim that. So there is inflation, there is scarcity. Grocery stores are very empty. There is lack. There's a hard, they are proclaiming, and I'm not coming into agreement, that it's supposed to be a dark winter. We will proclaim that it'll be a light winter because there's prophesying over us. And then the gas prices, all of those things, who wouldn't be angry? Who wouldn't be frustrated? Who wouldn't be like, I just put gas in my freaking car just last week and I go to work because I work so far from where I live that I got to put gas again. How are you not angry, God? Because if you operate in anger, you lose your blessing. And that's what they're banking on. I'm going to give you a couple of prayers. I pray over my gas. When I pump my gas, I pray over my gas. And I pray that my gas lasts because there's water in gas. Those of you in the inner courts already know where I'm going. We can command water. Water has a memory and water has ears. We live in a voice-activated planet, and everything about us in this world hears and speaks. You just got to listen. So I'm going to give you guys that. All of you in here, speak to your gas tank. Command it to last. Don't accept it's going to be a dark winter. For who? Not me. Don't accept that there's going to be a lack. It's going to be scarcity. For who? Not me. My God says he provides through his riches and glory. Man don't provide for me. Stop accepting what they're saying. That is not your portion. You are a child of God. He set you apart and he set you aside. So anything you hear, doom and gloom, negate it. Stop agreeing with it. God's word says if 2 or 3 agree, if 2 agree, it is established. Why do you keep agreeing with something negative if that's not what you want to manifest? That is not something you want to live by. That is not something you want in your life. Don't agree with it. Let your boss say, man, this is going to be a bleak winter. Not for me. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, if you celebrate Christmas, I don't know if I'll be able to afford Christmas gifts. It's so not for me. Stop coming into agreement with casual conversations. Then you wonder why your bills, your money looks funny. You're speaking it, you're agreeing with them, you're accepting it. Don't accept it. Stand up to it. And it doesn't have to be confrontational. It's like, not for me. They're going to look at you like, what do you mean not for you? We live in the same world. Yeah, but not in the same realm. Easy as that. That's ministry. Because they're going to be like, well, what are you talking about? Well, I don't receive that. Because I tell people all the time, not cashiers will be like, man, food is so expensive. I said, not for me. They're looking at me like, what do you mean not for you? I have the funds to pay for it, so it's not expensive. I'm not going to keep saying it's expensive because then I'm going to see that it's expensive, and then now I'm going into lack. See what I'm saying? Those are kingdom demonic agents set in your path to constantly pull you back down to the negative, to seeing the glass half empty, half full. And now your funds start at, because what you think on, you manifest. What you pray on, you manifest. What you think and speak on, it manifests. That's the power of your tongue. So there's more kingdom agents out there on the other side that's now coming at us because it's trying to stop the rise of God's children. Okay, so I want to open the floor up. Does anybody have anything they would like to add? If you want to text it, you're more than welcome. Anything you need me to repeat, I just really want you guys to understand that since CERN, that frequency has been driving me bananas. And I was like, God, what is this? What am I hearing? What is this? And just recently, I heard someone else say, man, this frequency sound is driving me crazy. That's what they said, because I don't say that. And I was like, what are they talking about? And they started to describe it. So that's why I wanted to come on here and see if you guys have noticed. Keep your eyes open. Notice other people around you and how they're maneuvering since CERN. It's not the same. It's not the same. Where some people are very desensitized, especially if they're oblivious and they're not even of God. That you can't even stay around some people. Like there's some places I enter and I'm like, ooh, I gotta go. There's some people I'm around. I'm like, nope, can't stay here too long. There's some people, family included, that I can't even be around anymore because our spirits, since CERN, cannot align anymore because they're so on the other side and they don't even want God's help. So God's like, back up. That's another thing. I need y'all who minister and who know the word. I need you to understand when he says back up, you better back up. I don't care if that's your mom, your dad, your brother or sister, your daughter, your son, and you are praying and praying and praying, fasting and everything you know to do. When God says back up, you better back up. It's not that you're taking your hands off of them, but God's going to do something different. So someone says, I've been feeling as though there are cobwebs over me lately, but I know that it's not. See, that too. Like you're walking into cobwebs, all of a sudden something's crawling on you. Yes. Yes. Trying to wrap you up, trying to keep you bound, because those are spiritual cobwebs. When you walk into it and you're like, what was that? But there's nothing. Those are spiritual cobwebs that you're actually feeling. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else? And the floor is open if you want to come up and actually dialogue with me. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes that I need to say before I let you guys go. Let's see. There's one thing I wanted to say about thoughts. Your thoughts, okay? Change is going to be extreme and it's going to be unannounced. I said that in another live, but I want you to write that down. Change is going to be very extreme, big time, but unannounced. It's just going to happen. So be ready. The second thing during December, coming out just from CERN, the update is your thoughts are dwelling. Okay. When your thoughts, certain thoughts dwell within, they've made a connection. So follow me. You think of, let's say, love. When you know they've made a connection is when they start dwelling. But what's the connection? Is it good or bad? You want the thought to connect to a feeling. As long as you feel and think about it, you will feed it. So be intentional to feed what you want to see. Does everybody understand that? Do I need to repeat that? That is definitely something I want you guys to understand. Let me know if I need to repeat that, if you wrote it down. Your thoughts are extremely powerful. If they're working on frequency, if they're trying to shift and change the frequency, thoughts are a frequency. If you don't know it, look it up. Thoughts carry weight and thoughts are a frequency. Your thoughts, if they start to dwell in your mind, that means dwelling, like love. I want more love. You're watching a movie and it's about love, and you're like, oh, the power of love, whatever you're thinking. Once it makes a connection to a feeling, the longer you think about it, the more you're going to feed it. But how are you thinking about it? Is it positive or is it negative? Wherever that part. So it's not just the thought, it's the feeling, the connection, in what you feed it. So be intentional. What you feed is what you will begin to continuously see. So again, if you are operating in frustration, you are going to run into people who are frustrated. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to let you go. I don't see any comments. I don't see any raised hands. When I worked in retail, luxury retail, in the mornings, my kids were like 2 and I had 3 under 5. And I would be getting them ready, about to take them to school or to my parents' house to take them to school for me to double back down to go to work and lose my keys. You know, that typical morning, lose your keys, mess up your shirt, whatever, spill something. And that would just throw me off. My whole day would be, I would get behind a car that's driving slow, trying to speed up to get to work. I'd get stopped by every red light and be like, oh my God, could this day get any worse? That's when I was loose with my lips, my tongue. I'd get to work and be in a funk because the day started in a funk. And every client was horrible. Their attitude, they wanted to possibly write me up for no reason. No reason as in I didn't do anything extra, but they were just irritable. Basically, I was seeing a mirror of myself, basically. At the time, I didn't know it. So I said, God, what is that? Why are all my clients today so funky and having an ugly attitude? He goes, because you do. I said, oh, okay. So the next time it happened, I said, well, what am I supposed to do different? So the same thing happened because I had toddlers. I had babies. But this time, I stopped the chain of events. And this is what I want you guys to start doing. I stopped it. Couldn't find my keys or shirt got dirty. I slowed down and said, you must be stopping me from an accident. Okay. Sat down, wasn't rushing, didn't get angry, got to the car, had a couple slow people, didn't let it bother me, got to work, had an amazing day at work. I said, wait, hold up. What does this mean? Because this is exactly how I talk to God. What does this mean? And what just happened? Last week, it was the worst day. This day, I had like a $10,000 sale. So immediately I was just like, oh, so you set my morning up like that so I will miss a $10,000 sale at work? No, we're not doing that no more. I'm not taking the bait. And that's where I started. Then I realized my clients were nicer and they reflected me. And I was just like, so I was pulling the ugly clients because I was on their level of frequency, which they didn't want to buy anyway. They were just miserable. They just wanted to look and fuss and complain, which is what I was doing. So I said, every time my morning is like that, one, the enemy is trying to block my blessing that I'm going to get somewhere throughout the day, because if I'm in a funk, if I'm angry, if I can't think straight, I can't see my blessings. Two, I should possibly have a great day at work. These are the days that I know. So again, kind of like befriending fear with my book, I befriended those days where frustration tried to take over in the beginning. And every day that happened, like clockwork, I'd have an amazing day at work. To the point where my coworkers was like, yo, how the heck you get all these $10,000 sales? I mean, these are people that walk in with ratty tatty jeans and a white t-shirt, but they dropping 10, 15K with you. I was missing out on all of that because I was allowing the enemy to simulate and show me what he wanted to show me. Now, let me bring that back to scripture. What did he tell our brother when he came out of the fast? Let me show you the kingdom that could be yours if you throw yourself off the cliff. Turn this rock into bread. He shows us simulations. That wasn't a real kingdom. That wasn't a real rock. He shows us what he can give us. He shows us what's in front of us in this world. Are you following me? You then have a choice to accept what he's showing you or say, nope, I want what God is. I'm wrapping this right back around to the beginning of this entire hour. He shows us it's a simulation. It's a song and dance. Everybody on the dark side gets in position and does a song and dance. Like martial arts, whenever you see them, they practice. Those are dance moves. That's what we're in. The way to break up that simulation, to throw a monkey wrench in and be like, nope, that's not what God said. Then you'll see it scrambling. Then you see the glitch. Then you start to see the frequency shift. I hope you guys are following this. I really do. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close because I think you guys have enough to be able to chew on, one, and to be able to take you into December. Okay? If you haven't listened to the video up above, get that link, please. That link above is the video that I had yesterday. I'm sorry, not yesterday, earlier today. And it's about next month. It's very important. It's something you need. It's not for everybody, and everybody's not going to go listen to it, but I advise you to go listen to it if you weren't in it earlier today. I want to thank you guys for joining me, YouTube and Clubhouse. I appreciate that. I'm putting my link back up again because I need your help. Those of you who know how our community works, you vote. It's a seed. It's your time. Sowing seeds in our community means you always, always name your seed. Okay. So name your seed. We're going to stick with love like we always do. Name it love. Whatever it is you want more of. And then command it to do something. Command it to do what it needs to do. I want to be married. I command love to come into my life. I want a baby. I command my baby to come into my life in the form of love. I want more increase of love in my 10-year marriage. I command you to go and grow and produce more love in my life. Okay? So you name your seed. Even if you're voting, if you're donating and it's transactional, anytime you exchange money, always name it. When you name it, you can't miss it. I always say this, you guys have tons of seeds in the ground, but you keep missing it because you don't name it and you don't understand, oh, it's right here in my face. You forget. We live in a seed and harvest world. It's always seed time and harvest. The word says that. So if it's always seed time and harvest, find the ways to sow seeds. One way in December that we do in our community is find a kid that cannot pay you back. Literally. Kids are the most precious thing to God, okay? And their angels run and tell whoever does good or bad to a child. I got this from a pastor that I listen to. Anywhere he goes to minister, he calls the kids up. What do you want? What do you want? And he gives it to them. Within a couple of days, it's either given back or 10 times multiplied. So in our community, we look for ways to sow into people, to seed into people, to give. And it doesn't always have to be money. Don't think it always has to be money. Your time is just, but if he says money, then you be obedient. So you sow the seed in the form of a vote or you donate. The cause is breast cancer. All of us by now, unfortunately, 20 years ago, no, but now we're all affected by it. Whether it's you personally, a friend, a mother, a sister, a coworker, a stranger that you just heard on the street, we now know, unfortunately, people who've been touched by cancer. This cause, when you donate, goes to breast cancer. So it goes to the research for the cure. But we know we have the cure, those of us who have healing power. And what I want to do with the winnings is have a healing tour. So for those of you who may not know, when you win the competition, you get a staycation, spacation, a 2-page spread, and an amazing magazine, and 40K. And what I want to do is have a healing tour, which is actually going to start shortly because since I said I wanted to do the healing tour, or since God revealed it's time to do the healing tour again, I have run across tons of people who are like, so and so has cancer, so and so has cancer. And I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? He's like, get it moving. So we're probably going to have one sooner than spring. Okay. So you are sowing into a kingdom agenda. Now that is bigger than you. When you come across a kingdom agenda, you pour into that, however you see fit, however you are led. Okay. And take this principle, every principle I give you, take it outside of just here. It's not just for what I do and what I'm offering. You go into someone else's room and this person is anointed. You're not just going to sow into them just because they said, oh, here's my Cash App, or I hear 10 people, blah, blah, blah. No, you ask the Holy Spirit, do I sow? Is this ground for me? Not just fertile ground. Is this ground for me and my kingdom purpose? It may not match. Is this grounds for me? And if it is, how much or what do I need to do to help make that happen? Because what you make happen for one in the kingdom, God makes sure it happens for you. And He sends you your help. He sends you your flock. He sends you what you need to continue. So thank you guys in advance for your votes. It is cut off in less than, I think, 30 hours. Last time I checked, I think it was 35 hours. I've been in first the entire time. And today or yesterday, I got bumped to second, but I'm not even tripping because I know what he told me and I know what he said. And I know I have a following of dedicated voters and donators. So I'm just coming on here at the end and asking anyone who is new, who may not know that I'm in a competition. Thank you. I appreciate that. To vote and donate and share so that other people can vote and donate. So I don't see any comments. I don't see any questions. Re-listen to this, you guys. December is going to be huge. It's December to remember. I've always said that, but this December, it's definitely going to be different. The video before that, I took down the link last year. I said it in the video. I pulled it. I woke up this morning and said, God, I need to give them something. And I heard it. And I went to my notes and it was December 26, 2021. Last year, we got it at the end of December and we were only able to capitalize on the anointing of December for a week. If that, the 26th, it was over in what, 5 days? This time he gave it to me the day before December starts. So if you listen to the video that I had up just now, if you need the link, let me know before I close. If you listen to that video, you will literally see that we have an anointing and a power to operate in December like never before. And I'm telling you, we get an entire month this time, not just 5 days like before. So there's a reason why he had me do it last year. And there's a reason why I woke up today. For YouTube, I'm dropping it in the comments. There's a reason why I woke up today and asked that question. Yes, let me put the link back up. If you guys would grab that link so that you could vote for me, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm about to put the link back up so that you guys can listen to it. It's about 45 minutes. I had it earlier today. I'm changing out the links now. YouTube, you have both links. Listen to it, take notes, and put it into action. Apply it. I don't know if you apply everything that I give you, but one thing I will say is definitely, absolutely apply what I released in this video up above. Okay? Apply it today. Put it into action now. We don't operate in future and past. In World Changers, we operate in present day. So put it into use right now so that it's a habit. You start making it a habit, okay? Use it. It will change your life. It changed mine last December, but we only had 5 days because each month is a new season with its own anointing, okay? All right. So you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Um, Last thing, if you have not followed my club, please do so. If you haven't followed me, please give me a follow, hit the bell, hit always so that anytime I'm on, you know. If you are interested in joining my World Changers community, which is off Clubhouse, it's an app. I am running a 3-day special where you get to go into the community for 3 days, look around, poke around, tag, watch anything that your heart desires to see if it's a great fit for you. And then on the 3rd day, it is a subscription, or the 4th day, I think it is a subscription. But if you're interested in that, reach out to executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com, and she will give you the link. We have exclusive videos that are nowhere. I go on there live. I released words, and every month you get a blueprint for the month. We don't lose in World Changers. And those that are in here, they know we don't lose because he gives us a blueprint. You can't build a house without a blueprint. You can't go hiking without a map. You can't go driving across the country without a map. Why are we doing this spiritual walk without a map? Every month, hear me, has a spiritual blueprint. Don't step here. There's a booby trap. Don't do this, because if you do this, you're going to get this. If you do this, you're going to be blessed with that. When I tell you it's instructions on how to thrive, not survive, on how to operate in his Kairos times every moment of every day. The only thing is, however, in the measure that you apply it is the measure that you receive it. Okay. I need you to understand that the measure that you apply what I release each month, the words that I give you, is the measure that you actually receive the blessings, which is why I always say I don't fail. Which is why I always say I don't get surprised. If I get surprised, it's because God needed me to be surprised. I actually found the link. So there you go. If you click on that link, if you are interested in the 3 days, you can click that link and it'll take you straight in and you can see if it's something that it fits into your world. Because I'm not a fit for everybody. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not for everybody. And that's fine by me because I only want assignments. I only want those who are assigned to me in my voice and not followers. I don't do followers because my job is to help transform you and change you into the powerhouse that you're supposed to be. And if you're just a follower, you ain't really trying to change. And I ain't about that. So, all right, you guys, have an amazing day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you so much. As always, you have a good one. This room and this live is closing in 3, 2, and 1. Have an amazing day and keep shifting with me, you guys.